Hey there everybody, Otakamagu here to bring you another game day unboxing. Now I know a lot of you are wondering, why did you bring out the box from your Ultimate Loot Chest edition of Borderlands 2? Here I'm going to explain why. I decided that game day unboxings would probably look a little better if I had everything I needed inside the Loot Chest box. So, without further ado, let me give you a brief history lesson on this series of games, and then I will reveal the game I got. So, and I'm reading off a little list here of release dates. On March 30th, 1996, America was introduced to a game which basically started what was called the survival horror genre. That game was Resident Evil. Yes, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, that's the GameCube edition. Well, I do have the original PS1 edition, but I don't know where my boxes are at this time, so just bear with me on this one. Okay? So, Resident Evil, as it was by Capcom, was, as I stated, a survival horror game. This is the game that started the whole survival horror genre, like Left 4 Dead, Dead Rising, and a whole bunch of other games that had some sort of zombie implication in it. So then, now that this game is out of the way, let me tell you about what's next. Okay, back in 1998, on January 21st, my niece's third birthday, by the way, was because she was born on the 11th of January. We were all treated to another game in the Resident Evil saga called Resident Evil 2. This one differed from the original Resident Evil game because this game featured Chris Redfield's sister and a new character that was announced called Leon Kennedy. You will find out why there was a Leon Kennedy much later on, so let's press on in this game. Day unboxing, I should say. Now, on the 11th of 1999, 11/11/1999, there was a game that came out which kind of presented you with a unique twist on this game. The choices you made determined what ending you would get in the game. And that game was Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now, this game showed you the adventures of Jill Valentine and the U.S. Group of mercenaries. Don't remember the name of the guy. I think his name was Carlos or something. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But in any case, I mean, this game presented you with unique challenges, like, oh, if you defeat the Nemesis now, you get this weapon part, or things like that. So in turn, this game kind of started it all pretty much uphill from there. Now, a lot of you are going to be surprised. Even I'm surprised that I still have this one. Okay. Back on leap year 2/29/2000, a lot of you may remember the Dreamcast, may not. But a lot of you would probably remember this game. Resident Evil Code Veronica. Now, this game was released, as I said, February 29th, 2000. Here you played a couple of different campaigns. You played Chris Redfield, you played Claire Redfield, and you played another character. Sweet Lord, I keep forgetting names of characters. I'm sorry, let me just get the old strategy guide out. Or strategy guide, oh boy. Instruction booklet. Oh, Steve Burnside was a guy's name. He was one of the prisoners on the island that Claire was sent to while I'm on the subject, I might as well get the instruction booklet for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and get you guys that name for it. Oh yeah, Carlos Oliveira was the guy on Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Thank you very much. I'm glad I often have these things. Okay, so, as far as Code Veronica goes, between Resident Evil Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4 in 2005, there was one other game that was released on November 10th, 2002. It was actually the prequel to what happened in the original Resident Evil for the GameCube. Now, that game was Resident Evil 0. This game you played as... Let's see. I'm sorry I'm going through all this trouble with the instruction booklets, but I need to get these informations going for you. You played as two characters. You played as Rebecca Chambers from Alpha Team, and you also played a criminal by the name of Billy Cohen. Now, this was way before the mansion incident. So this one was the scenario of what happened to Alpha Team. So, okay. Now, man, let me see if I got this straight. On actually my niece's 10th birthday, 1/11/2005, there came a game that really was anticipated, but not expected. And that game was Resident Evil 4. If you're wondering why the metal tin, I found this used, the GameStop Special Edition version of Resident Evil 4, which gave you Resident Evil, the game, as well as the Resident Evil Prologue book from Brady Games. So in this one, you're rescuing the president's daughter from a village that was basically infested with this new virus, or parasite actually, called Las Plagas, which in turn comes to March 13th, 2009, which in turn, US got Resident Evil 5. Now I know this is a gold edition, and I kind of don't want to hear it like, well, I do have Resident Evil 5 for the Xbox 360, and I didn't like the DLC content on there. I'm not really upset with... I'm more upset that it wouldn't work with the disc I had. That's why I bought this for my PS3, to get me started on the game I'm about to show you guys. Now, this game took the Las Plagas to a whole new level, where the enemies in this game were called Magini, and they were infesting Africa. So then, while we were waiting on the game that I'm about to reveal to you, let's start with the game that came out in February of this year. That game was Resident Evil Revelations. Resident Evil Revelations was kind of like, you could say, Resident Evil 4.5, something around that nature, because it happens in between Resident Evil 4 and the Lost in Nightmares DLC of Resident Evil 5. But it's like Darkside Phil said on his review of this game, if this game didn't exist, there is no position where the story goes. Now then, this one is kind of the unique one because this one is the one with the effed up spelling on the spine. If you can see right there, Resident Evil Revelations. This was actually one of the first batch games, and I reserved it. Okay, now to the final game of the day. And this is really cool. today, 10/2/2012, there came the game, which supposedly is the end of the series, maybe not the end of the series, we don't know. Resident Evil 5, a lot of people thought was the end of the series. But this one now takes a whole different turn, and this one is Resident Evil 6. That's right. 6 games. Well, maybe more. But in turn, this one has Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy, Ada Wong, and Sherry Birkin, and 3 new other characters in this game that are partnered with each character respectfully. Now then, without further ado, let me open this up and we can see. I can see the instruction booklet, so I can show you the characters in it. Hopefully, the instruction booklet isn't like just 3-4 pages. Let's open this up. Let's see. Well, the game shifted, so let me just put it the right way. There's the game. Now, here is a QR code for a Blu-ray movie, and this movie is really fun. If you see it in 3D, and that's Resident Evil Retribution. Now, Resident Evil Damnation is another CG movie, probably from the same creators as Resident Evil Degeneration. Which reminds me, I have to go buy a new copy of that of that movie, because somehow my movie went missing and now it's completely gone. So I have to get a new Resident Evil Degeneration. So, oh, what a surprise! Look, no instruction booklet. No instruction booklet. Now I know everybody's got to be green with the whole EPA breathing down their necks because of the fact that, oh, you're wasting paper because you're printing instruction booklets. But come on! How am I supposed to tell you what characters are in this game if I don't know what characters are in this game? Well, I know of, like, just 3 main characters, Sherry Birkin, 4 main characters, sorry. Sherry Birkin, Leon Kennedy, Ada Wong, and Chris Redfield. How am I supposed to explain the other 3 characters without an instruction book? Gee, Capcom, what are you thinking? What is any game company thinking, creating games without instruction guides? Ugh, I swear. This pisses me off a lot more, if just as much as Darkside Phil. So, in any case, a lot of you people are wondering, why didn't you get the Anthology Edition? Well, I'll tell you guys why I didn't get the Anthology Edition. I already have the other games. Why would I need the Anthology Edition when I already had the other games? But I digress. This ticks me off about there being no instruction booklet in here. So, in any case, I didn't get the Anthology, which is kind of probably what you would call a collector's edition. But I did get something better. And I'm going to unwrap this and I'm going to show you what I got, what's inside there. It's the Resident Evil 6 Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. Now hopefully this will tell me what characters you can play. So let's get this open so I can investigate. There we go. One of my trusty little knives. And one of the reasons why I don't really like showing my face is because, one, I get very camera shy. I'm very embarrassed about the way I look sometimes. And two, I just think it's better just to let the games talk for themselves. Okay? Now, this was the back this is kind of like the back cover insert of it, right here. Sorry if the glare, I'm sorry if you can see through that. I'm sorry if that's causing a see-through effect. I don't mean it. Only in the limited edition, you get complete campaign coverage, detailed maps, hidden emblem locations, the mercenary strategy and tactics, and every enemy item and skill data. Plus, you also get three patches for whatever clothes you want to put them on, like your vest, your jacket, whatever. And here are the badges. I mean, you got the BSAA badge from, well, you could say from the collector's edition of Resident Evil 5. Then you got this weird little spider patch down here. And then you have the Division of Security Operations, which is probably more or less Leon Kennedy's new designation. Okay, so let's get into the strategy guide and see if I can come up with the names of those characters you're going to play in the game. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This will help. Okay, so in the Leon chapter, you get to play as Leon Kennedy or Helena Harper. In the Chris campaign, you get to play as Chris Redfield or Piers Nivens. Now, there's another campaign. Well, there are actually two more campaigns. Okay, let me see if I can put this up right here. Now, in the Jake Mueller campaign, you get to play as either Jake or Shelley Birkin from Resident Evil 2. That's right, the little girl's all grown up. And finally, you have the antagonist of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4, Ada Wong. And she's now a playable character in this game too, so that's pretty cool. And the rest of it, I'll just save it for when I play. So, sorry for the anger and my loot chest falling off my stage, but that's it for my game day unboxing. In turn, I've done 3 of these, and each time there's been kind of a mishap, so, oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to be playing it soon on PS3 in about after this video gets posted. My PSN nickname, if you're going to look for me for co-op play, is in the video description of my Borderlands 2 game day unboxing. And I think I'm going to keep this puppy around because it just makes the explanations of the games I get that much more easier. In any case, this is Otakon Magoo, and I'm out.